Lokanath, Lokera Jivana. Lokanath, Lokera Jivana. Aha Prabhu koro doya deho more pada chaya. Aha Prabhu koro doya deho more pada chaya. Ebe jat gusuk tribhuvana. Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtata Desa Tarine. Namaste Saraswati Deve. Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Gadada Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Nitai Chaitanya Chandra Nitai, Gaura Chandra Gaura Hare. Jaya Nitai Chaitanya Chandra Nitai, Gaura Chandra Gaura Hare. Jaya Radha Giridhari Radha Giridhari Radhe. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radhe. Jaya Radha Nila Madhav Radha Nila Madhav Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Yeah, I think that's good enough. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivacharya Astottara Shishimadi Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nasta Praeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Samambanam, Chapter 82. Krishna meets the inhabitants of Vrindavan, text 47. Sri Sukha Uvacha Adhyatma Shikshaya Gopya Evam Krishnena Shikshitaha Tad Anusmarana Dvasta Jivakosha Tam Adyagan Sri Shukavacha Adhyatma Shikshaya Gopya Adhyatma Shikshaya Gopya Evam Krishnena Shikshitaha Evam Krishnena Shikshitaha Tat Anusmarana Dvasta Tat Anusmarana Dvasta Jivakoshastam Adyagan Jivakosastam Adyagan Sri Shuka Vacha Adhyatma Shikshaya Gopya evam krishnena shikshitaha tat anusmarana dvasta jivakoshastam adyagan. Adhyatma shikshaya gopya evam krishnena shikshitaha tat anusmarana dvasta jivakosastam adyagan. Sri Shuka Vacha Adhyatma Shikshaya Gopya Evam Krishnena Shikshitaha Taranusmarana Dvasta Jivakoshastam Adyagan. Mothers, Sri Sukha Vacha Adhyatma Shikshaya Gopya Evam Krishnena Shikshitaha Tat Anusmarana Gudasta Jivakosastam Adyagan. Adhyatma Shikshaya Gopya Evam Krishnena Shikshita Tat Anusmarana Dvasta Jivakosastam Adyagan. Sri Shuka Vacha Sukadev Goswami said, Adhyatma, about the soul, Shikshaya, with instruction, Gopyaha, the gopis, Evam, thus, Krishnena, by Krishna, Shikshitaha, taught, Tat, on him, Anusmarana, by constant meditation, Dvasta, eradicated, Jiva Koshaha, the subtle covering of the soul, false ego, Tam, him, Adyagan, they came to understand. Translation and purport. The translation is by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. The purport they took from Prabhupada's Krishna book, so it's also by Prabhupada. So translation. Sukadeva Goswami said, having thus been instructed by Krishna in spiritual matters, the gopis were freed of all tinges of false ego because of their incessant meditation upon him. And with their deepening absorption in him, they came to understand him fully. Please repeat. Sukadeva Goswami said, having thus been instructed by Krishna in spiritual matters, the gopis were freed of all tinges of false ego because of their incessant meditation upon him. And with their deepening absorption in him, they came to understand him fully. Purport. Srila Prabhupada renders this passage as follows in Krishna, the book. The gopis, having been instructed by Krishna in this philosophy of simultaneous oneness and difference, remained always in Krishna consciousness and thus became liberated from all material contamination. The consciousness of the living entity who falsely presents himself as the enjoyer of the material world is called Jiva Kosha, which means imprisonment by the false ego. Not only the gopis, but anyone who follows these instructions of Krishna becomes immediately freed from the Jiva Kosha imprisonment. A person in full Krishna consciousness is always liberated from false egoism. He utilizes everything for Krishna's service and is not at any time separated from Krishna. Om Ajnanatamrandasya Jananjana Shalakaya Chakshushanmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langete Girim Yadkripatamam Vande Shri Gurum Denataranam Paramanandamadam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Godode Pushpavanto Chitra Sando Tamo Nudo. So there's one more verse, it's going to be the last in the chapter, and this is a very interesting chapter because we see Krishna meeting different categories of devotees, and towards the end we see him meeting the gopis. And we also learn that Krishna quietly left the audience of the elders of the Dwarka devotees, or even from Vrindavan devotees, and he left their association, and because the gopis were so much intensely thinking of him and wanting him to be in their association, and so he could not be separated from them himself. So he therefore gave them the audience in a place close to Kurukshetra, where there's the Kadamba tree. It's a forest of Kadamba trees. So that's where they go, and this discussion takes place. And as usual, Krishna is up to his mischievous pranks with the gopis. It may seem odd, but that's how it is, actually. And so oftentimes when people read these exchanges, it seems very familiar to most people, because ordinary young boys and young girls are also doing the same thing. They will talk nonsense, or they will tease each other and to arouse each other's emotions. So we see that also happening here. And of course, because we are not at the stage of the great yogis or Paramahansa devotees, we fall into the categories of pretty much everyone has been saying speculation as to how these emotions are. We can't really compare with that. We can take some guidance from Srila Prabhupada's Krishna book, with the purports here from by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. They quote extensively from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, because we don't have it in our mundane experience to explain the exchanges as clearly as our acharyas could. So therefore care has to be taken in trying to understand the exchanges between the Supreme Lord and the gopis. We can get confused as to who's talking to who. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur once gives the example of how there was a public discourse on the 10th canto, and the speaker was mentioning how Radharani was feeling so much separation and so on. And every time the speaker mentioned Radha, there was a person in the audience going, "Oh Radha, I miss you. Oh Radha, I miss you." And so he was going on throughout the whole series of discourse, and everyone looking at him was thinking, he has so much affection and love for Srimati Radha, and he must be a great devotee. One among them, a Vaishnava, was having some doubts. So at the end of the discourse, he followed that man, and then he didn't confront him. He got to know him and asked him, "How is it that you have so much affection for this Radha?" So then the man said, "Yes, I miss Radha so much, we were there and she used to serve so much and now she is gone." And he was curious, "What do you mean by that?" So yes, Radha, my donkey, he had a donkey, Radha, and the donkey was helping him with all the work that he was doing, and he loved it so much, so he was missing Radha, the donkey. So you can see how we can get confused also. We are not at this stage, so we would naturally try to compare and contrast from our experiences in material world. It's a tendency is there. We can't avoid that. And that is why it is so important to have good association. And it starts from Mangalarti. It is. It's one of the hardest services for devotees, getting up at Mangalarti. It is the hardest service because trying to get up, as this particular verse talks about, Jiva Kosha, the great false ego is there that says, "Why do you have to get up at this time? You deserve better. You have worked so hard. One day is okay. You're okay. Who is there in these three worlds who can say that you have not done great service for the Lord? Even the Lord will understand." Yeah. So the false ego is like that. And therefore, it becomes a sojourn, a difficult journey to get out of the bed and come to Mangala Arati. Of course, there will be people who will say this is a reason, and it may be a valid reason. But the Paramatma is in the heart, just like here when the gopis are meditating on Krishna, and they are embracing Krishna in their hearts, and Krishna embraces them as the super soul from the heart. And so in the same way, when we are thinking, this is so difficult, Krishna understands. Surely he understands. Surely he understands our position, our difficulties. And so in that way, Krishna will either encourage us or he will just allow us to be encouraged by the material energy. We have no choice. It's one or the other. We may be, in one sense, we are tatastha, which means we have choice. And that's the beauty of the living entity. We are marginal. Yeah. It's an amazing expansion of Krishna. We are tatastha Shakti. Just imagine we are 1/10 thousand tip of a hair. We are so atomic, and look at our ego. Just imagine if we were 2/10,000 the tip of the hair. Krishna will have such a hard time controlling us. But because we are so tiny, look at this false ego, and it gives us such a very, very difficult time. Even though with so much knowledge, we understand our position in relation to Krishna, we have such a difficult time surrendering. Jai Shri Shri Radha Nila Madhava Ki Jai. So it becomes so difficult, and here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that anyone who follows these instructions of Krishna becomes immediately freed from Jiva Kosha. That means from the false ego. What is this instruction that Krishna is giving? Be Krishna conscious, yeah. Primarily, if you had read, you guys know it just sometimes it escapes your intelligence. Talks about the Achinta Veda Veda Tattva, actually. That he says, I'm in your heart, I'm everywhere. You don't have to really made me, He teases them like that, But of course, the gopis answer later on in the last verse. Or even in this verse, you can see the gopis are not really happy with Krishna trying to tell them what? What is he trying to give them? Jnana, yeah. But they are not at Jnana platform. Jnana platform is for? Not only impersonalists, generally yogis and so on. You need jnana anyway. We can't say jnana is not needed. Jnana is needed. Why? Then we know we are not the body. We know what to do. What are the practices we have to incorporate in our, bhakti process. So jnana is necessary, but the material mind and ego is only destroyed when we use this jnana in relation to serving Krishna, which means devotional service. So that is imperative. It's so important to understand that. Simply taking the knowledge, it's good. It's not that it's not so good, but then we need to make that knowledge into wisdom or realized knowledge. Why is that knowledge so important? How is that helping me? It is not so much as to say, I know these things, but how did it help me is more important. How did it change? For example, if you go back to the second canto, right? The change of heart, pure devotional service, right? Chapter 3. So it's important. One has to have a change of heart. Be convinced. So when you are convinced, then the activities you do in pure devotional service is pure devotional service. Then it becomes pure. But when you're not convinced, then you're just doing Mishra Bhakti. It could be Karma Mishra Bhakti, Jnana Mishra Bhakti, like that. Yeah, I know this, yeah, I should be doing, but my this, my that. So later on, Krishna, the gopis also say, all this knowledge you're giving, you're talking about, material things. You're talking about. Actually, you're saying we are stuck in our family. We are stuck with our wealth, household affairs. So and then you tell us those are nothing to do with the material world. Yeah. So that's nice and good, but we are not interested in that. Actually, Krishna, we just want to have you in our hearts all the time. So for us also, in the same way, we have to see, yes, this knowledge is very important. Krishna's jnana he's giving should help us to come to the point of understanding that actually we have to practice pure devotional service. So what are the steps we have to take in pure devotional service, right? We have to know that. So what are the characteristics of pure devotional service? If you take up pure devotional service, immediately you will experience Kleshagni Subhada, which is relief from material suffering, and you will feel happy, and you can give people auspiciousness, which is what book distributors do. So when you do book distribution, you should be happy. But if you go with a long face, dragging around the place, then they'll think, these guys are not happy, and then they're trying to tell me something about some happiness, So that's not good. So you must experience this happiness. So if you're not experiencing it, then there's something in the practice that you're lacking. And so you have to analyze. If you cannot, and if you do not have the faculty or the capacity to know where you are lacking, then you have to ask some senior devotees and say, this is my activities from the day and the night. And, that's where confidentiality comes in. You reveal the heart. Actually, I have this bad habit. Every now and then I go to the whiskey shop and hit a shot. Yeah, something like that. A quarter to, like that. and so then, then the devotee who is extremely compassionate, devotees are meant to be extremely compassionate because everyone in this world is suffering. So we want to help them. So we say, don't worry about these things. Don't get this into your mind. Now you practice. You do some more extra. Maybe you need to chant more. Maybe you need to go out more. No, you don't go out more. You need to go out with somebody. Can't go alone anymore. Yeah. So that will give strength. So there's a solution for that. And so then we can act on that. So sadhana bhakti is not just you go to your own corner and then put on a dunce hair cap and then do your own thing. It's not like that. Sadhana bhakti is very cohesive and it's very interactive. It should give you happiness, actually. For most devotees, when we practice sadhana bhakti, we don't take that extra step to weed out things that are bothering us and are not allowing us to make that extra step or the endeavor to improve our Krishna consciousness. And we don't understand when Krishna, or when we read Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe, how to connect with Krishna. We don't really realize how, because we don't have the experience. But if you gauge your difficulties and so on, and if you read properly, you will come to the conclusion that you need help. Either you approach a spiritual master or you approach the senior devotees who you feel confident enough that they can guide you in a natural fashion for you. So that is so important. So of course, when you read these verses here, we are looking at personalities who are not at our sadhana level. We are struggling. Damn it, I can't do this, like that. But here, these personalities are, spiritually they are on another level altogether. They are experiencing intense ecstasy. For practitioners, for us, we should at least feel relief from the suffering of this material world. Which means we should also have in our mind that everything externally that is not connected to Krishna is going to cause distress to me. Unless I'm connecting with Krishna, I will not be distress-free. So nowadays you see, right, all kinds of organizations having stress-free seminars, or seminar where you learn how to become stress-free, right? Even devotees have that, seminars on. Because why? We don't know how to apply, so we need such things. And also you see here that by practicing Krishna consciousness, if you have looked carefully, we become to a stage where our focus becomes primarily pleasing Krishna and his devotees. That means we have a natural detachment taking place. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojata Jana Ati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chahat Ahaitukam. So you get the knowledge and you get the detachment. So with knowledge, what should come about is detachment, and should be a natural thing. That means you should be losing interest in material things. You must be losing things. If you are at a point where you're not losing any more material things, then again a re-evaluation has to take place. It should be a self-evaluation, and if that doesn't work, then you have to sit with a devotee who can help you evaluate your situation. It's so imperative if you want to make advancement. Otherwise, you will be stuck in this samsara cycle. And every morning, samsara dava nalalida loka. It's so hot, right? And we were just talking. Feeling hot and cold is also very subjective, right? Like some of you don't even need socks and so on. Look at me, man, all wrapped up. So it's very subjective. But because you are subjective, you will not come to the right conclusions. So therefore, you always have to ask a second opinion, a third opinion. Just like if you go to hospital, then the doctor will say, I think I need to cut you up, and change your heart. You say, what? I need a second opinion. Yeah. Either you take off quickly or you say, I need a second opinion. It's like that. So Krishna consciousness is also like that. You may have doubts in yourself, or you may have doubts in the person you are actually inquiring with. So you have a second opinion, a third opinion, if it helps. No harm, nothing is wrong. Everyone is trying to help in their capacity. Devotees are always wanting to help. According to their capacity, some of them can give you more than you can take. Just like a cup of, it has a certain volume, but if you keep pouring too much, it overflows. So sometimes in devotional practice, devotees are so much knowledgeable, they give overwhelming knowledge that it just drives them away, just like the Ganga flowing and knocking, even trying to knock Lord Shiva like that. So overwhelming, So, but the intent is good. The intention is good. So we need to find our balance within the practice of Krishna consciousness, because then it will help us make the proper advancement at the right time, because each of us, when we traverse this part of Bhakti Yoga, we have our own limitations. Some of us will take many stops. Some will take less stops. Just like when you go from here to Dallas, right? Some people have to stop a few times to take breaks and stuff like that, stretch your leg and so on. And then there are others who will just non-stop, they will drive. And they'll say, no, I will not drop. And then the guys, bhaktas will say at the back, no, I got to go, I got to pee. No, just hold it, we are bhaktas, we can do it. It's like that, sometimes it's like that. Some people can do it, some can't do it. So we have to see. We have to be very realistic also. Krishna consciousness, especially in the month of Kartik, one's heart should be open to the Supreme Lord, and you should tell Srimati Radharani, who is supposed to be the protector of this month, who is the Bhakti Devi of this month. Kartik is particularly her devotion, her everything within this month. So you can approach her and say, look, I am struggling. I am struggling. I don't know how to chant. I don't know how to, understand anything. I'm always causing people problem. Whatever I say makes other people sad. I can't say anything correct. So help me, guide me, show me some sign. So another devotee will come next to you and say, I got something for you. Then you say, go away. Who are you? But you need to have that intelligence to understand, maybe this person is sent by Radharani. So maturity is another aspect we lack in our practice of Krishna consciousness. So it's very difficult sometimes to help devotees, but we can pray. If we find the devotee is not willing to accept some help, or that they have difficulty and they are struggling, we see that, we pray for them. That is our process. As devotees, we can be compassionate directly, or we can be compassionate indirectly also. It doesn't have to be face on to give compassion, Open your mouth, this is a compassion. Open your ears, this is a compassion. It doesn't work like that. You can pray. You can say, my Lord, I see my dear friend so-and-so, that we want to pray for them. We want to give them hope that they can make advancement in Krishna consciousness. One of the symptoms in Bhava Bhakti is that they have hope against hope, that Krishna will give me mercy. They are so convinced. That means the faith is so strong. Then you should ask, do I have such faith? Why is it that I'm not thinking of Krishna all the time? Here the gopis are thinking of Krishna all the time, 24/7. They dream of Krishna. They awake thinking of Krishna. They work thinking of Krishna. What did Krishna tell Arjuna in the battlefield? Yeah, always think of me in all your activities. It's a challenge because we are not, we haven't practiced enough to think like that. But it's doable because it's been done. The acharyas have shown it. Yeah? We don't have to experiment anymore. We don't need to experiment. It is proven that this process works. right? Most people who are not interested in Krishna conscious, they pursue the karma kanda section and the jnana kanda sections. But those are not really bhakti. They will not give us enough satisfaction in the long run. What is that? Bhukti mukti siddhi kami shakale ashanta. Krishna bhakti niskama ateva shanta. Right? Niskama. That means the devotee, when he does it, it's not for a selfish reason. Krishna bhakti niskama ateva shanta. So therefore he is peaceful. No distress. So every time when we chant or when we do something in connection with devotional service, if it is causing you distress, that means you have something in your heart that you are hankering for materially. So that has to be identified also. Okay? That's very important. So ultimately, when you reach to the highest stage of Krishna consciousness, the characteristics are Sandaratma Vishesha, Sandaranda Visheshatma and Krishna, Sri Krishna Karshini. That means you will experience intense emotional love for Krishna, and Sri Krishna Karshini means Krishna is attracted to you, which is what we are seeing in this particular episode. Krishna left the other devotees. Because of the intense love for Krishna, he's so much attracted to them. And then he's talking about jnana, impersonalism. So, but previously at the bhava stage, we all already know what is that? Moksha, laguta kriti and sudurlabha. The stage of bhava is where you say, I'm not interested in liberation anymore. The gopis are not even at that level. So when Krishna talks about jnana and that, they're thinking, what are you talking? And they're getting very angry with Krishna. All this is a waste of time, Krishna. Stop messing around with us. We just want to talk to you. You don't mess around with us. So they are therefore showing what real intense love for Krishna is all about. It's not easy for us to assess from our stage and our conditioning, but that's what it is. That's what we are. We are actually getting a glimpse here and there of the exchanges between Krishna and the different inhabitants, particularly here, the gopis. Right? So understand the other thing is we are all been wandering for so many lifetimes. Mahaprabhu tells Sanatan Goswami in his instruction, Brahmanda Brahmate Konya Bhagavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasadi Paya Bhakti Lata Beach. That we are given this opportunity by the mercy of Guru and Krishna to do devotional service. But Brahmande Brahmati Kona Bhagavan. That means lifetimes of lifetimes he is traveling in this Brahmanda. That means this universe. Upper planetary system, middle planetary system, lower planetary system, traveling. Jai Shri Radha Nilamadava ki, Jai Shri Radha Damodar ki, Jai Shri Radha Giridhari ki, Jai Giri Govardhanath ki, Jai Shri Nitai Chaitanya Chandra, Shri Nitai Gaura Chandra ki, Jai Iskcon Guru Vrinda ki, Jai. Right? So stop wondering. Okay? Don't wonder too much. Don't let your mind wander also. Right? You've already been wandering for so many lifetimes. So take some solace that Srila Prabhupada in his infinite intelligence and mercy has given us this opportunity to go back. In fact, he's so kind, he said, if you can do 75% is good enough. He will take us back to Godhead. Prabhupada said that to his disciples, Yeah. So, but how do you know what is 75%? You don't know. You need to work under a spiritual authority and they can help you out. I stop here. Comments, questions, corrections, additions, subtractions. Yes, Prabhuji. Pranahari Prabhu. Enlightened us. Enlightened us.
Well, I have a question. So when we, I guess my question is, without a taste for the holy names and devotional service, without a taste for bhakti, the motivation is
Lacking.
Is lacking. Yeah. So we do the Vaidhisarana bhakti, which the motivation is fear of whatever, going to hell or whatever it is, some sort of other motivation other than the relationship with Krishna. And so my question is that how to stay motivated, because that taste cannot just be developed by dint of my own endeavor for it. It has to be bestowed.
Yes.
That's that quality sadurlabha, that we can't just get the taste on our own. We have to endeavor, but it can seem like a long, dry, march through the desert to get to the oasis. So how to stay motivated?
The nectar of instruction, utsan nischet daire tat karma pravartana. So you need to have utsan, First learn some of these qualities, become patient, and also be confident that this process works. These things you must be convinced. As you said, you keep doing and you're not getting the taste. The other thing is you look for people who have more enthusiasm than you do. That means association is very, very critical. You cannot lie in bed and say, Krishna, bestow your mercy on me. It's not going to happen. You got to, as you said, endeavor. Just like Mother Yashoda, but this month of Kartik, right? We are singing this song. She endeavors so much, but she also has love for Krishna. So that captures Krishna, or rather Krishna allows himself to be captured like that. So when we take up the enthusiasm to do service and so on, all the devotees who see you with that enthusiasm feel generally favorably towards you. And therefore the Lord himself, because the devotees are favorable, he will be also becoming favorable. So the mercy comes in that way, through the devotees and sometimes directly by Krishna himself. We read in the Nectar of Devotion that a person continues different life because he has been blessed directly by Krishna, from previous life he's continuing, or by the devotees, like that. So that taste will come when we associate with the devotees, particularly senior Vaishnavas, take the humble position. I believe yesterday Giriraj Swami was saying, when OBL Kapoor, the scientist, was asking, how do you get this, And then Srila Prabhupada answered, Trinadapi Sunichana Tarorapi Sajana. So you take a humble position in all circumstances, but make sure you are engaged in a tangible service with the proper intent, right? The intention is where, I think who says that? Vaisheshika Prabhu always highlights this point. You must have the right intention. And then the tension with Krishna will be there. So find a person you see who has that taste for Krishna consciousness, serve the person, or see who's always endeavoring to please the Guru and the Vaishnavas. So you go and serve them. It is said that if you want to learn how to cook properly, you go and serve the person who's cooking, the chef, right? And then you cut the vegetables, and then by simply doing that and watching, you learn the art of cooking, the art of tasting, like that. So in the same way, when you serve the devotees with the right intention, for the right reasons, then the Lord from within your heart will give you the intelligence and the taste also. Tesam sadatam yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogantam yena mam upayanti te. So he'll give you that knowledge, how to go about like a nectar hound, and you get the taste. Yeah, I hope that answers. somewhat. Shyamachandra Prabhu?
When you were talking about the morning program,
Yes, Prabhu.
it is so nice that devotee can take little time to start the day. I was listening Goswami Maharaj tape, and he was saying the morning program is the springboard for your spiritual life. Everything will evolve from the morning program. So I think it's very nice that all the devotees, they at least try to come on Sundays and use as a springboard for their spiritual life. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yes, Prabhuji.
Sometimes I get stuck in between two devotees that have bad intentions towards each other. And those intentions seem to get inflicted towards me as representing one or the other between. So how do you work between devotees that are in that situation? Because you were mentioning about intention and having the right intention, and ultimately we have to accept that whatever devotee's doing, they have the right intention, but it doesn't seem that way. Yeah. So how do we avoid that?
You have to see, there is, in Vaishnava etiquette, you have to see what your role is also. Even though sometimes you may think, I can help these people, I may have the intention, right intention, but this requires proper perspective, like what's your role, where are you at, are you the person who can give such instruction to those people. Sometimes it is a managerial line, sometimes it is a spiritual line. So if we are not in properly situated in one or the other, maybe we cannot give advice. For example, among the bhaktas, they may be doing something wrong. The right thing that most of us has to do is go to Pranahari Prabhu and say, Bhakta Bozo is sleeping all the time, so please help him out. No, but you can't go there and tell, yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. And so the message may be the same, but the delivery may differ. So that's one thing we have to understand. Spiritually is also the same thing. Sometimes we think we want to do the right thing, but we may not have the adhikar. We are not qualified enough to guide some people. So when we try to help and then we see that it's not going anywhere, then we should immediately take a step back and then guide towards the proper person. Maybe their guru or some GBC or a temple president, and say, look, I see this problem, you fix it. Once you do that, Krishna knows your intention is good and well, you don't have to worry about it after that. Even if it keeps on going, don't worry. You will be peaceful. The distress is not there, and you can just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. At least in my experience, I find that works, yeah.
Well, I just had in this particular situation, it was a third-party service. It had nothing to do with fixing the problem. But the intentions coming from both directions were towards the other person, not me.
Yeah.
But because I got stuck in the middle,
sometimes it's wise to excuse yourself.
I still had a service that had to be done.
Maybe.
So I had to do that. I mean, it's complicated, but then I got chastised by not having the right intention or not understanding a particular intention. And it's like, well, I wasn't getting involved in that. I'm just trying to do this third thing.
Then Iskcon has the Iskcon resolution, ten. So
but they've even asked me to join that, so that's not going to help me.
So then you go to that mediation and try to solve things. No, I mean, there are stages where we can resolve things. If we want to resolve, it is doable.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to resolve. I'm just trying to do it.
I'm saying still, if there's issues here and there, within, our movement so book, there's going to be so many different issues and problems or misunderstanding. Sometimes you see a person may not be qualified from your point of view, but he or she may be a GBC, but Krishna put them there, So we have to that's it, go your own way, as the song goes, All right? Yes, Prabhuji. Pranahari, some wise words.
No, I just have something really short. It was on the point about the story you told about the donkey named Radha.
Yeah.
There's a similar story I heard about in in a mosque. There was this imam doing some recitation of Quran or something and giving a lecture, and one of the ladies there was crying, tearing up, sometimes would exclaim different emotional outbursts of so he was thinking the whole time, wow, she's really affected by my talk. So afterwards he asked, what was it that I was saying that touched you so deeply? And she said, well, actually, I was looking at your beard, and I had a goat that also had a beard like that when I was a kid, and I missed that goat.
All right, with that, Grantaraj, Srimad Bhagavatam. You want to say something, Patrick?
Yes, I just had a question. We were speaking about purifying in our service.
Yes.
A lot of times when we're preaching, I'll be trying to explain the Maha Mantra, and sometimes people are atheistic or just kind of averse to a prayer, praying to God. So I'll give a vague explanation, typically like frees you from anxiety, stress, help you overcome the obstacles in life and just progress nicely. And then I don't know if that's an offense, because it's an offense, it says not to give a mundane interpretation of the holy name. So I'd like to hear a clarification, maybe a line, something to help me.
I'm not sure what you've been taught to say. Normally, I would just, this is my take. I would just say this mantra that we chant is a plea to the Lord to engage us in His service. I don't go more than that. It's because, as you say, they don't even understand what it all means. It's a prayer to connect us back to the Supreme Person. Yeah. And I leave it at that. 90% of the population don't know anything, and then and in the Bhagavad Gita, Naradamas, right? 95% Prabhupada says. So they can become atheistic, or they are atheistic, and you don't want to push them to commit offenses to Krishna. Yeah. So just be wary of that, unless you all have a set things to say for certain questions, then you can stick with that. Otherwise, just keep it simple. You shouldn't spend, my Guru Maharaj said, you shouldn't spend more than a few minutes with each people. That's what he said. Because they will absorb you, all material energy will absorb you, and you will be stuck fighting with them. So you don't want to do that. And then you miss the opportunity to give books to the innocents. Yeah. So just one or two words and say, and if they go on tangentially on a different direction, you smile and say, Hare Krishna, we'll see you, and then move on, Yeah. There's no need to continue, waste your time with them. Yeah. So is that all right? I'm not sure. Maybe Pranahari can help you later. Yeah. All right? Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaura Premanandi, Hare
All glories, all glories, all glories to His Holiness Radha Krishna Das Goswami. Hari Hari Bo.
Okay, today we have a book distribution at Meenakshi Temple starting from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. If anybody is interested, they can come. And after Prasadam, I'll be leaving.